turn of the 20th century witnessed the rise of numerous car manufacturers vying for dominance in an increasingly competitive market. From Henry Ford's revolutionary assembly line to the elegant craftsmanship of luxury brands like Rolls-Royce and Packard, each company sought to carve out its niche and capture the imagination of consumers hungry for mobility and adventure. However, beneath the polished facade of advancement and wealth, there existed a concealed reality, a reality that early automobile companies would prefer to keep hidden. Let's dive into this video. 1900 cars. DeSoto, 1928-1961. DeSoto was introduced by Chrysler as a mid-priced model, but unfortunately, it faced failure right from the start. Chrysler acquired Dodge shortly after DeSoto was established, resulting in DeSoto having to compete with its own sister brand in the mid-priced market. Chrysler made an attempt to enhance Dodge sales by repositioning DeSoto as a car with a higher mid-range price in 1933. DeSoto was eventually discontinued due to repeated mismanagement by Chrysler and the impact of the 1958 recession. Mercury, 1938-2011. Mercury was positioned as a mid-priced car when it was first introduced, serving as a more affordable option compared to Ford's cheaper models and the luxurious Lincoln line. Due to declining sales in the mid-1940s, Lincoln and Mercury decided to merge. The Marquis and Grand Marquis models enjoyed immense popularity from the 1960s to the 2000s. However, due to Mercury's aging customer base and declining market appeal, the brand eventually met its end. Briggs Stratton Flyer, 1920. By 1920, the automotive industry had evolved significantly from its early stages. Companies like Rolls-Royce, Cadillac, Hispano-Suiza, and Voisin were producing powerful and luxurious automobiles, showcasing the remarkable technological advancements of the era. And then there was the Flyer, a motorized park bench on bicycle wheels. There are no suspension, bodywork, or windshield components. It was a five-wheeler equipped with a small 2 HP Briggs & Stratton engine that powered a traction wheel on the back, similar to an outboard motor on a boat. The Flyer exemplifies a recurring theme on this list: the determination to create the most affordable and simplistic car imaginable. King Midget Model 3, 1957. The King Midget story serves as a reminder of the middle-class nature of the United States in the 1950s. Claude Dry and Dale Orcutt from Athens, Ohio, were friends from the Civil Air Patrol. They aimed to sell a simple and affordable utility car, in contrast to Henry Ford's more expensive Model T. King Midget's cars were far superior to the Model T, making it seem like a Bugatti Royale in comparison. In the late 1940s, they started selling the single-seat Model Y as a DIY kit for $500. The kit included the frame, axles, and sheet metal patterns, allowing local tradesmen to fabricate the body panels. It can be powered by any single-cylinder engine. The outcome was a rather disappointing little vehicle, comparable to those mini-bikes powered by Briggs & Stratton engines. Lotus Elite, 1958. Fiberglass became the go-to material in the 1950s, offering durability, flexibility, and a lighter weight compared to steel, all at a more affordable price than aluminum. For instance, the Kaiser Darrin and Corvette sports cars had fiberglass bodies. Colin Chapman, the founding engineer of Lotus, had a strong obsession with reducing weight. It was only a matter of time before he became captivated by the material. The Elite, Type 14, was a highly successful race car, winning its class at the 24 Hours of Le Mans 6 times. It was powered by a punchy 75 HP Coventry Climax engine and weighed just 1,100 lbs. It was a charming little coupe, which made the moment when the suspension mounts broke through the stressed skin monocoque all the more unfortunate. The fiberglass, without reinforcement, was unable to withstand the structural strain. In Chapman's cars, failure was always a possibility. Zunndapp Janus, 1958. Constructed in Nuremberg, Germany, by a reputable motorcycle company. During a challenging period in the motorcycle industry, this unique vehicle was inspired by a Dornier prototype. It was equipped with a 250cc 14-horsepower engine, allowing it to reach a maximum speed of 50 minutes per month if one had the patience to get there. The rear-facing bench seat was a distinctive feature of this car, allowing passengers to witness the traffic behind them with a sense of unease. It quickly became evident that the Janus was a complete disaster, regardless of the direction it was headed. Corvette 305, California, 1980. The federal emissions requirements of the 1970s had a significant impact on American muscle cars, and the Corvette was no exception. The most challenging part occurred in California, where stricter state regulations mandated the replacement of the already barely adequate 350 Q. In addition, the California Corvette had a limited amount of horsepower due to its less powerful 3-speed automatic transmission. That gave the Corvette a symbol of bold, confident style, acceleration comparable to a high-performance Vespa. Corvair, 1961. Rear-engine cars provide an exhilarating driving experience and, unfortunately, can be prone to accidents. Although rear-engine packaging has significant advantages, it also comes with a drawback. Placing the heaviest component of the vehicle behind the rear axle can cause cars to spin out, similar to an arrow weighted at the end. In occupied Czechoslovakia during World War II, Nazi officers were prohibited from driving the rear-engine Tatras due to the high number of fatalities associated with them. Chevrolet executives were aware of the challenges posed by the Corvair, a sleek and attractive car with a rear-mounted air-cooled flat-six engine similar to the VW Beetle. However, they chose not to invest a small amount of money per car to improve the handling of the swing-axle rear suspension. Ralph Nader put the smackdown on GM in his book, Unsafe at Any Speed, also noting that the Corvair's single-piece steering column could impale the driver in a front collision. However, the Corvair faced additional issues. It was leaking oil heavily, resembling a derelict tanker. The heating system had a tendency to release harmful fumes into the cabin. It was available for a period of time, with a gasoline burner heater located in the front trunk, which was a common but potentially hazardous accessory back then. The dark side of early automobiles. Nevertheless, within the midst of the enthusiasm and anticipation surrounding the growing automobile industry, there existed a more somber truth: the inherent risks and shortcomings of early cars. Unlike their modern counterparts, early automobiles were plagued by design flaws, mechanical failures, and safety hazards that posed risks to drivers, passengers, and pedestrians. Safety compromises and cover-ups. Early cars had numerous safety concerns, such as fragile chassis, flammable upholstery, inadequate braking systems, and unreliable steering mechanisms. Unfortunately, manufacturers were often hesitant to acknowledge or resolve these issues. Some companies, in their pursuit of profitability and market dominance, placed more importance on reducing costs than ensuring consumer safety. This approach resulted in devastating accidents and avoidable injuries. In the early 1900s, the advent of the automobile era sparked a surge of innovation and enthusiasm as car manufacturers competed to transform transportation. Nevertheless, beneath the polished advertisements and assurances of freedom on the open road, there existed a more somber truth. Cars were anything but the secure and dependable machines we are familiar with today. Early automobiles presented considerable dangers to drivers, passengers, and pedestrians due to design flaws and insufficient regulations. Exploring the mysteries of this past era reveals the difficulties and risks that once affected the automotive industry. Manufacturer, liability, and cover-ups. Furthermore, there have been instances where car companies have tried to hide safety issues and defects in order to safeguard their reputations and financial interests, alongside design flaws and regulatory gaps. Manufacturers frequently downplayed or dismissed reports of accidents, injuries, and fatalities involving early automobiles in order to avoid negative publicity and legal liabilities. There are cases where car companies have attempted to hide information about safety hazards or defects through internal documents and correspondence. Manufacturers chose to conceal this information from the public in order to prevent public outrage and preserve consumer trust in their products. The legacy of early car safety concerns. Although the early 1900s may feel like a bygone era, the safety concerns from that time still hold relevance in the present day. The challenges and limitations faced by early car companies are a clear reminder of the importance of giving the utmost importance to safety in automotive design, manufacturing, and regulation. Today, thanks to advancements in technology, engineering, and regulation, automobiles have become incredibly safe and reliable modes of transportation. Modern vehicles come with a variety of safety features that aim to protect occupants and reduce the chances of accidents. These include airbags, anti-lock brakes, stability control systems, and advanced crash avoidance technologies. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe for more future content.